Whoa.
Sticking at the line just a little bit, getting up on the toe. And that's happened to me several times, Jen. I don't know if it's ever gotten to you or not, but if you get ahead of yourself just a wee bit and get up on the toe of that, your whole balance gets thrown off kilter. And Tom's forte kilter? What was that? And anyway, his forte being solid and low at the line, that he should be very thankful to walk away with a simple one-pin square.
Sometimes you can really get teetering up there. It can be quite embarrassing.
As a matter of fact, Tom took a bad fall in the city tournament.
Oh dear.
And when he stuck and did not work out too well. High qualifying score. You read it right. 852. Wow. 852. Take a look at how you bowl 852. Classic form. Head on. Just stay down. Look at that head. Perfectly still.
It was a Brooklyn, but it worked. Tim has a very good follow through. His arm up.
Much better. And yuck. What are you going to do about the 10 pin? There's one pin that keeps the game exciting and interesting and unfortunately frustrating, and it is the 10 pin. So you folks at home, that when you leave one, if you're worried about making it, you've got to get out of that because it's going to be around.
Tim was the 1987 All Events champion in the city tournament, which is a very prestigious title indeed.
Yes. You see him holding, smiling a little bit. The ball hooked early on him on that particular case and almost missed it. I predict if he leaves another one, he will be playing it differently.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful shot.
Tom's forte is consistency and being steady. Watch the head. Never, ever goes up, which leaves your body to come off the shot. He physically gets lower and creates more leverage at the line. Tom Atkins is a well-conditioned player, and I think with his game, he could throw a lot of games. Doesn't expend a lot of energy into each and every shot, but consistently does well. Good shot.
Just like that.
Very good shot.
Pounding the pins down.
Well, Timmy Sharp holds a lot of records, and an 850 series is enough to intimidate anyone, but Tom Atkins, not overly impressed. Saying, here, take that, kid.
Tim was on last year, and we saw his daughter Caitlin, only about a half a year old then. Now she's a year and a half, and I'm sure she's as cute as ever.
Tim seems really confused, and maybe the problem is in his release. Let's see if we can take a look at it here. He looks pretty good at this. No, there, right there. He starts rotating around the ball too early, which causes the elbow to fly out to the right, and that's going to cause you to miss your target going in. He's starting to overwork the ball, and you cannot do that.
That's what I am most guilty of.
Don't do that anymore.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Go practice at a BPA center and see if I can get that straightened out.
That's right. That's right. And there's 22 of them around the greater Cincinnati area, and all of them are more than glad to see you. They make you feel welcome, and bowling is more fun in a BPA center. Trust me.
Trusted that ball, and just to his chagrin left a stone 10 pin.
Tim Sharp's had an opportunity to look at thousands of these down through his career, and he's a pretty good spare shooter. I think he'll bring this back, but again, not the typical methodical Tim Sharp that I'm used to seeing, Jennifer.
No, I agree. I see that.
What's different? I can't pick it up, but something's different.
He's rushing himself, I think. Just going way too quick.
After year, we watch these bowlers and bowl against them and with them. You pick up things that shouldn't be, unless they're making an obvious change in their game. I mean, that's not the typical Tim Sharp. 14 pins was the lead by Mr. Atkins. Now Tom increases that to 24, and I think he's on his way to salting this match away early, unless Tim Sharp can really just regroup himself and get back into the match. Halfway through, Tim Sharp needs to find the answer, and the answer may lie in taking just a little bit more time and collecting his thoughts.
Tom going through the nose that time, surprisingly, after getting a double, a triple actually.
Tim Sharp looking on, trying to figure out what in the world he could do to get back into this match. And when you're down, it's kind of hard to really look at, you know, what do you pick up first? That's why one of the questions that we tend to ask the players that, you know, when you need to win a match or you need a difficult, you're in a difficult situation, what do you do? Tim's information sheet's blank, so I guess that means he's not quite sure. And it's pretty obvious right now.
Yeah, his timing just doesn't look on as usual.
Trips out the 4, and watch the thumb on this release, if you would. It goes down into the floor. Watch it rotate counterclockwise, the thumb. Just watch the thumb. It should not be pointing down right there. No, it should be up in about the 11 o'clock position, not all the way over.
Yep, he's got a flying elbow, all right. No doubt about it.
And it's, I mean, you qualify with 850, and then the people at home watch and say, how in the world could he shoot 850? And he's throwing the ball like this now. Folks, let me tell you what, one day can make a difference in your whole game. Your attitude towards the game, the weather outside, it's a sport, and let's don't take it out of context. It is a sport, and it's a fun sport, but people are human. We change. There's good days and bad, and today doesn't look real good for Tim Sharp.
So many times, too, it's difficult to pick up what exactly is going wrong. So in one game, unless you're practicing and can do various things, it can be very difficult to pick up on.
The boringly consistent Tom Atkins, right? Just right down the lane, great release, no frills, ball out onto the lane. Rotation on the ball is good, and this one's going to give him a 22-pin lead. 1-3 pocket filled up, every pin doing its job, and Tom Atkins is looking good. Left-hand lane. Let's see if he can keep the pressure on.
Going a little high again. He went high last time on that lane 9. He may have to make a slight adjustment.
Cross lane for the 4-pin. Tell him how to make it, Jen.
Well, you have to go across the alley and use the oil in the middle. I normally will play it over the second arrow, standing about the 10th board from the right. Relatively easy spare.
Should be. 7th frame. We're getting towards the end of this week number 10. Next week will be week number 11, and then the finals, the one we're all looking for. And that includes all the people that you've seen on BPA King of Bowling this season. And they're going to duke it out. We're going to wind up with 4 players. Getting a little bit better shot there and tripping out the 4, but still not the Tim Sharp that we're used to seeing. The elbow again. Watch the elbow here. Not as bad at all, and that's what keeps the ball on its trajectory. Straight through, tripping out the 4 late, as we said. Perhaps he's got it figured out, but maybe a little too late.
This is a real important 9th frame here, because Tim can go out for 236 potential. Not getting the break. That's usually what happens.
What? The elbow is the culprit. The elbow is the culprit here, and Tim should be able to feel this. Now watch, just watch nothing but his elbow on this, and you'll see it break a little and then also start to rotate towards you on the television screen. You see it there, and it's just got to be a pendulum swing. It's got to be straight, and that's what's made Tim Sharp so consistent over all these years, and he just doesn't have it today.
Doesn't have an open frame, though. That's the good news for him. The bad news is Tom Atkins is right in the pocket, and he is striking with regularity.
The bad news is that this man is up 22 pins, and if he continues to mark...
All right, getting that tap on the 10 pin.
There you go. Tom Atkins, the low, slow roll, no frills bowling, a la Earl Anthony, just simplifies the game to walk into the line at a normal gait and delivering the ball with accuracy and consistency. You don't have to crank to go to the bank all the time.
Certainly not.
Went with more speed on that lane, Jen, to hold the line rather than to make a line change.
It was a good shot.
Interesting change and a very well thought out move, and that only comes from years of experience.
Here comes Tim. Maybe a little bit too late.
Tim Sharp figuring out his problem, but as you alluded to, perhaps a little bit too late. But never, ever going to quit Tim Sharp's potential if he takes it off the sheet to 16. Tom's potential if he takes it off the sheet to 48. Timmy, if this was more than a one-game match, I think you'd be in real good shape, but we'll see what Mr. Atkins has to come up with here in the 10th.
And of course, $750 will most likely go to Tom Atkins, which isn't a bad payday at all.
Look at this, look at this. Ooh.
Almost, it was trying, wasn't it?
It was trying. The messenger coming the other way, something we're not used to seeing. Take a look at the messenger pin coming across. Now, which one is it? It's the 3-pin. It's the 3-pin coming off the wall. Now, that's
unusual.
Very unusual. Of course, we've seen Tim Sharp do a few unusual things down through the years. Well, to put this one away, Tom Atkins, virtually any sort of a spare and a fill to win. And but we saw last week a spare when you need one is not all that easy to get. Let's watch. Well, if you're going to leave a pin, Jennifer, which one would you want to shoot, the 7 or the 10?
7. I'd like to.
No,
although, if you had already left the 10 pin and been making it like Tom has, I guess he would prefer to leave the 10 pin. Sometimes that can be uncharted territory, going at a shot that you haven't thrown. So.
The match,
that's the winner.
Yeah, the match is history. Tom Atkins with the consistency and the no frills bowling wins this, the 10th week of BPA King of TV Bowling.
227 if he strikes here. Not too bad.
Not too shabby. Gonna collect a check. And I'm sure
there it is.
Sure, yeah, that's right. There's a lucky one and a smile. Smile from Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins finishing out with 227. Tim Sharp 205. We'll be back to pass out some cash in just a moment. Stay with us.
Schiller Ford in Harrison, Ohio. Hamilton County's newest Ford dealer is located only 6 minutes west of I-275 and I-74. Ford Escort starting at $69.99. Ford Escort, all new and priced hundreds less than